Thanks for taking the time to watch this video on our mobile dipping carts. The dipping cart you see here is a model BD6 CEO3 and was built custom for Molly Cools. It's got a sink and it's got cold plates built in. Optional overhead canopies are available for all push carts. All canopies feature spring-assisted support poles. This means that even the largest and most complex carts can easily be broken down to fit through a standard doorway without tools. Very little effort is required to raise and lower the canopy, making setup and teardown a real breeze. What used to require 2 people is now easily done by 1 operator. The canopies all feature a pull-out shade, a light fixture, and a storage shelf. It fits about 6 3-gallon tubs or about 6 5-liter gelato pans. In this case, Molly Cools was using gelato-style tubs, which called for a custom racking system. It's got a sneeze guard with a plexiglass door that's really strong and also has a bumper on the bottom so that it can take the beating that you know it's going to take on a daily basis. Another special feature on this high-end sneeze guard is a light inside and the fact that you can stock lightweight type products like cups and cones up top. This cart has a beautiful sink system with stainless steel tanks, California approved, 6-gallon fresh water and 8-gallon wastewater. It's also got a quick disconnect for when you go to fill up your fresh water tank. That quick disconnect is a California Health Department requirement. Right here is an overflow hose in case you go too far when filling the fresh water tank. Over on this side you have a stainless steel 8-gallon wastewater tank where your sink drains into. In the back you have an Ariston on-demand hot water heater and pressure pump, and when everything's turned on you pull about 15 amps. So you turn on the faucet, it goes through the tank, through the hot water heater, and out comes hot water into the sink. So then when your fresh water runs out, your pump has an automatic shut-off, and then you know that you have to go back in and refill the fresh water tank. Emptying the wastewater tank is easy. You just pull out the little hose. You can hook up a regular garden hose and run that hose all the way out to wherever it makes sense to get rid of all the wastewater. As you can see up here, this cart has a single bowl sink and it's NSF and UL approved. It's also got a little grommet hole over here where you can, from the bottom, you can pull up an electrical cord and plug in something up here on the top. The cart also has a cord wrap so that the cord doesn't get in the way when you're moving the cart around. The dipping cart you're looking at now is the BD8 CEO5, which is one of our larger carts. It's got a triple bowl sink and a dip well. This sink here was designed for a health department code where they allowed one area over here for hand washing and a 2-bowl system for utensil washing. So with the divider here, one sink system covers all the health department requirements. The sink is recessed 6 inches from the top of the cart, which is a pretty basic health requirement across the country. Over here you see the built-in dip well system with running water where you house the scooper in order to keep it clean. Just like in the last cart we showed you, you just pop open the bottom to see the sink where you got the fresh water tank, you got the drain wastewater tank, you got a hot water heater back there, you've got the piping for the 3 bowls, you've got a hose that where you can hook up a garden hose and run the wastewater out to the outside wherever it needs to go. And over here with some extra storage you also have the plumbing for the dip well system, which uses the same wastewater tank and freshwater tank as the sink does. Now this cart is not really meant to be mobile, but as you can see it weighs about 1,000 pounds and can be moved fairly easily by one person. Moving on to the actual dipping cabinet and the flip lids, it's got the heavy-duty stainless steel flip lids, which are primarily for outdoor use. A real nice feature is that they're interchangeable depending on operator preference. Inside the dipping cabinet, you'll notice cold plates up on the walls. These cold plates, after being plugged in at night, will keep the cart at temperature without the need for electricity or dry ice. The bottom of the cart is stainless steel, not painted steel or galvanized, but stainless steel. Stainless steel is critical for an outdoor cart if you want it to be long-lasting. The canopy on this cart is easy to see because the Lexan panels have not been put on it yet. So what you're seeing here is essentially the aluminum framing. Again, most canopies have the shade barrier, the shelf for paper products above, and the light fixtures. All that needs to be done to finish this cart is to install the panels on the canopy, which can be done in white, clear, or we can do custom graphics for you. Locking the Dippin cabinet is easy. You just slide the aluminum bar through the O-rings and put a padlock on it. All Nelson carts undergo rigorous testing under stress conditions to ensure that they are working properly before they are shipped to the customer. Because these carts take 4 to 6 weeks to build, make sure that you contact us as early as possible if you plan on purchasing one. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this video on our Dippin carts.